Folks, this is the Chav Factor. Been a long time since I did a video. I want to do a video on these Ferguson riots. And this is my status I wrote on the wake of this. This was Tuesday at 2:50 a.m. I was up late thinking about this, but I had to get this off my chest. I read, okay, I'm mad about this verdict. I'm mad about the 12-year-old getting shot in Cleveland. I believe Officer Wilson should have been charged with manslaughter or murder of the second degree. But what I don't F with is people calling people coons and Negropeans who talk about black on black violence. David Carroll has brought this topic up way before any of this happened. So have I. The Nation of Islam talks about ending the violence in cities and cleaning up the cops, cleaning up so the cops won't have to come. The same thing Rudy Giuliani said. The Huey P. Newton Group of Texas, which is a gun club in Texas, a black gun group in Texas, talks about ending police brutality and ending black on black crime. When you have an army and trying to go against an enemy, how can you go against the enemy when people within your own army are infighting? Again, I am mad at the verdict, and Darren Wilson is a pig. But don't attack people with different views and thoughts. Some of these same people who want to talk against white supremacy and racism, systematic white supremacy, live in all-white gated communities. Hashtag the lip-smacking Max of the world. I just want people to keep in mind, I had to get that off my chest. Good night, folks. So, I said all this. I stand by that status. And I really want to talk about this because I was mad because I expected a decision to be made. And I can understand any family member, I've lost family members that have passed away, so I feel that. But what the stepfather did by saying, burn this down, and then the mother basically running with it. And I respect the mother's feelings to a great degree, but I think people tend to give this a pass just because her child passed away, and I can see that. But to have this man and this woman looking just unpresentable to a point is what kills me, because people want to give this a pass because I lost a child 3 months ago. Okay, Betty Shabazz, who's Malcolm X's wife, saw Malcolm X get gunned down in front of her. Okay, Martin Luther King's wife had to cope with the death of her husband. Medgar Evers' wife had to cope with the death of her husband and saw him die in the garage. Jackie Kennedy had to pick up John F. Kennedy's skull when he got shot on the in the car. What all these cases have, like, yes, they didn't lose a child, they didn't lose their born, but they lost a man they loved for years and years and years. Same thing with John Walsh, who lost his son, whose head got chopped off. Made a whole national premise of trying to find criminals and fighting pedophiles. So I make all these examples and say that the family could have reacted better, could have presented themselves in a better way. In fact, do your cussing, do your yelling, do all that crap at home, and then get crap done outside of the media. Excuse me. That's what I believe should have happened. What was their best strategy doing? Instead, they seem to ignite a riot. Gunshots rang out. People burned businesses. People burned down everything they could. And people support. You even had Umar Johnson saying, I hope more businesses burn down, which is completely stupid. You had people on social media say, kill Darren Wilson, which I don't care if he did die right now because he's a piece of crap. But I mean, I'm just saying you can't have threats like that on social media. It's just stupid as hell. Just keep it raw and funky. It's stupid as hell. Okay. So I say this to say that this rioting and everything, and people keep saying this is not their community. And they try to say all these other white people who are rioting in colleges and who lost the game is the same as them rioting in their community. Even though they might not own a lot or most of those businesses in that community, they still live there, have to shop there. And if they keep doing that, the property value goes down. So they won't. So even if those businesses go away, it's harder for them to start new businesses because the value has gone down. Do you feel me? Do you get it? That's what I'm trying to say. The white kids rioting with pumpkin patches and all that crap. They're rioting in their college campuses. That's not their homes. That's not their main home where they go to. They just go to college there. And the next summer, they'll be partying, sexing, and doing whatever they want to when they get back home. It's not the same thing, folks. It just ain't the same thing. When are you going to get it? Come on now. I'm pumped up. I got to tell the truth. My only point is, I would respect the rioters and people like that if they honestly felt so discriminated, so disgruntled. Why did they not go after the police departments in that town like they did in the Watts riots? And I am not advocating violence in this video. I'm just saying, if people are so frustrated, why don't you go to your Democratic mayor, the Democratic officials who run Ferguson, and the Democratic police departments who brutalize the people in Ferguson, who are all whites. Town is 68% black, but almost all the officers are white. Councilmen, all the other crap. Okay. My point in being, I cannot respect this because they are not going after the so-called people who are truly oppressing them. Yes, the shops and the outside influences do suck out all that. I get all that. But the people who are truly doing this are the people who are in control of the government, who are in control of the city, and they are not economically getting themselves together to fight against that. I feel the pain, I feel the anger, but I cannot give this a pass. It's just crazy to me how people want to just give this a pass. And there was a black women's business, a bakery business, that was destroyed after that happened. There were a couple of black businesses that were destroyed in the process. Let's keep it real. Okay? I'm tired of people giving this a pass because it's BS to me, man. Go after the police departments. Go after the governor. Go after the people who are truly pressing you. Not some stores or some mobile phone store. Come on now, folks. Another thing I want to talk about is I hear people say that black on black violence isn't as bad as a policeman killing a black person because they can either get away with it, they can cover it up, or they're held to a higher standard to have a license to kill. And I feel that argument, and I've had experiences with police on me. At the same time, the numbers of black people getting killed by police is not the same number as the black on black violence. I'm just keeping it real. I've had experiences. Even Jesse Jackson has said that he does not feel comfortable when a black person, he feels comfortable when it's white folks that are behind him. Not saying that because I used to live in PG County, Maryland, I live in Atlanta now. So there's many safe black neighborhoods. But as for the majority, and other people have told me across this nation of ours, they do not feel comfortable. They feel rather safe being around any other neighborhood than their own. And I'm not saying I'm not saying cops are not dangerous. I'm just saying that I may have had some bad experiences, but I haven't been as scared as them as someone who looks just like me. That's just real talk. But I just don't like when people put people on the coon train for mentioning that or saying it's a much different thing. Because, like I said in my status, how can you go against an enemy and fight against your enemy when you're always fighting, doing this, doing stuff that's happening? That's why the Huey P. Newton group of Texas, the black gun group in Texas, said we're going against police brutality and racism and black on black violence. And you can research that. But my premise is the same. I disagree with this verdict. I cannot give credence to what the family, how they reacted because of the examples I just posed to you. Justice for Mike Brown, but also justice for people who get killed by people who look just like me. We need to change things in this country. The police need to be held to the standard, to be held on. We need to continue. We need to also put cameras on them so they'll think twice about doing crap like this. Things have got to change in this so we can stop both problems and not call people coons and sellouts for addressing this and just giving them different opinion. That's all. Folks, this is the Chad Factor on my perspective on the indictment, on the failed indictment of Darren Wilson. He's a pig and he's gonna get arrested. Mike Brown wasn't an imbecile, but he needed to get arrested. He needed manslaughter, 30 years to life. Everybody have a good Thanksgiving weekend. Peace.